first of all here to Dimension, and I am going to go to a project here that is this one. All right, so this is a landscape plan, as you can see, and we got 3 different lots, lot 77, 78, and 79. And what I want to do is just show you what zones look like. And so here are work zones, and we can create rectangle work zones or polygons, an odd shape. And so I'll just do a simple one here. And since this is, I'm just going to call this a lot 77. And I'm going to say OK. And I'm going to draw a box. And I'm going to draw that box kind of like this. And there is, I'm going to make it like this, just a little bit different here, just to show what we've got. So there's a work zone for lot 77. And I'm going to draw another one down here, and I'll call this lot 78. And I am going to make this one a different color, just because I need to see the differences that way. And so I'll make it blue, and we'll call it OK. And I am going to do that. And so there is that color. I can come in here and change the background, and I'm going to make it green. And so now we have those 2 different work zones. Now let's say that when I drew those work zones, I actually, they're kind of not too bad if I zone it. They're tight to each other. If I was to move this out of the way a little bit, let's move it over about like that. Say that I didn't do a very good job of lining them up, or let's say that I just need to edit the points and get this one down here. I can continue to, I need to edit the points, and now I can drag that one down like that, and that one over like that. Okay, so I can modify these zones after I've created them. Now you will notice I've got a gap in there, and I did that on purpose, because one of the features in zones is to fix the gaps and overlaps. So if I do this, and then I draw this line, it will automatically, see how it sucked that 78 work zone over against the 77 one. And now we have a perfect match. And so you don't have to be really, really accurate. You can let eTakeoff fix those kinds of problems for you. And so then that's zones. So it's like, okay, what do I do? So I've got takeoff here in zone 77 and also in 78. And so then what can I do with that? Well, basically what you can do is you can get a work zone report. And so this is like the measurement list. And here it is. Here is our takeoff summary sorted by, and we can sort this by zone if I wanted to. So I can right click and I can sort by zone ascending, and there's my totals for zone lot 77 and lot 78. Now, that's all well and good. Many of you may be saying, well, that's great. I've got bridge and all of that. How does it work with that? And the short answer is it doesn't. This is as far as we can go with it. There may be some creative solutions. If you have any ideas about how it might work, that would be awesome. But we cannot take a zone and bring it over into an estimate just yet. But I'm wondering if there might be ways to do that. And so we'll keep thinking on that one. But that's pretty much what a zone is it allows us to do this, and we can now break up our estimate with these zones. All right, so project backup. This one's cool, and it has a lot of possibilities here, I think. And so I'm going to open up a project here, and I'm going to open up, gee, La Quinta. Have you seen that one before? And so I've got La Quinta open here, and I've done some takeoff. And there's the first floor and the second floor, as always. And I've got the site plan and other things already taken off. And as we do normally, we can start bridge and create a bridge for this project. And it will say there are no bridges. Do I want to create one? And I am going to go through the process of Quinta original, or let's just call this version 1, because we'll have several going here. And we're going to do this La Quinta V1. And that's good, and that's good, and we've got that, and okay. And so we created a bridge. Awesome. Going to create the automatic assignments, and I'm going to send them over to the estimate. 34 assignments to the estimate, and we are good. Close this, go to the estimate, and just to confirm that we've got everything there, and it's going to grab a license for estimating and open it up. And I'm sure you've seen all of this before, so I'm not showing you anything you don't already know or haven't seen. So I'll give it a minute here. We are going to spend some little time here waiting as things think. So there's Sage Estimating with our La Quinta version 1 estimate. And we have the same functionality, you know, the usual stuff here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this. I'm going to do this because what I'm going to do is go back here to Bridge. And I'm going to go here to the File menu, and I'm going to go back up Bridge. And now we have lots of options that are grayed out. And so you can tell that I have used this. Let's do this. Let's go back here to Home and open that bridge. And now let's see here. Now I've got these options. Okay. So what we can do now is we can back up, restore, and copy a project. So this offers some really cool opportunities. What we can do if we copy a project is we can literally copy the entire project, the takeoff, the trace, the mappings, and the Sage Estimate, all at once. And so this is a great way to start. You know, if you've got progressive estimating, what we talked about progressive estimating, it's like, okay, I've done 50% design development. Now I need to do 95% design development. Okay, well, copy the project, give it a new name, and I'll call this La Quinta V2. And where do I want it to go? I'm going to have it go into the demonstration estimate. Okay, and it is going to copy all of those pieces, not only the eTakeoff dimension stuff, but the estimate as well. So this is going to give you a copy of that, and everything is there. What you can do now is you can run 2 projects, or a single project with 2 estimates in parallel at the same time. This is something that we couldn't do before, and so I think it's very cool. What I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they said, well, this is something a contractor said, is that they had their owner came in, and what they usually do is they show the owner they show them the old estimate, and they show them the new estimate, and they usually show takeoff with it. They'll print the takeoff so they can see the changes in the takeoff graphically as well as the numbers. And so they were having trouble doing that, and they said, how can we fix this? And the guy from eTakeoff said, hey, got a deal for you here. And he showed him this, and this guy says, that's exactly what we need. We can now say to our owner, here's the original estimate and original takeoff. Here is our new estimate and new takeoff. And then in estimating, I can run the comparison or variance report to show the differences. Very powerful. And so now you notice that I'm in La Quinta version 2 bridge. Also, if I go here, now I have 2 bridges. This one was restored from the project La Quinta version 1. And also notice that if I wanted to, I can hold down my shift key, and now we have a delete button down here at the bottom. So now I've got another version of La Quinta. I've got La Quinta version 2, and I can start doing takeoff on it. And so I can, I've already done all the takeoff here, but I could do that. So I could copy the project, take off, change things, do whatever I need to do, and then I could compare those 2 using the comparison and variance report here in estimating. Okay, Also, I can back up a project. So I could back this project up, and it will create a file that contains all of that same information, the dimension files, the drawings, the traces, the mappings, and the estimate in one file. So I can start to do this, and I'm going to say this is backup, and any notes that I wanted to enter in on why am I doing this backup, and next, and here's all the different things it will back up: dimension, project, bridge, the catalog, which is the mappings, and also the estimate, and finish, and it's going to back it up, and I am going to tell it to put it on my desktop and save it. So it backs up all of those different pieces. Again, here's a snapshot in time. Here's my takeoff from that 50% DD or whatever you're working through, and that's a snapshot. And then that one is saved successfully. And if I go back out here to the desktop and back here, there is my backup. Now I can either click on this and it will start the restore function, or I can go here to bridge and I can go here to restore. Two ways of doing the same thing. Click on this and it should restore it. La Quinta backup, and it's going to restore that project. So here you go with restoring these things, and you can restore a project restore one of those snapshots, and then have a complete project. You could, hey, we did a bunch of alternates, and then we went back and forth. And by the way, go back to that estimate, start from there again. And all right, we'll do that. Been playing around with things here this morning, so by a different name, let's just call this 02. Oh, great. Sometimes, and it only happens when I really care, my keyboard dies. And so, okay, all right. So now we have La Quinta backup. Here we are in bridge, and it also restored the project here. And we can go, let's see, if I go open, I can go open, and I should see La Quinta backup right there. So now I have the La Quinta backup project in Dimension, the La Quinta backup bridge here, and I can keep on with my estimate. So if you can think of different scenarios where that might be handy, I think this could be another powerful tool that you can have in your takeoff and estimate creation process, especially if you're doing multiple estimates through the design or bidding process. This is a powerful way to make sure that you keep all of everything intact and in one place and linked together. And that's one of the things, one of the reasons they do this is because they need to maintain a unique link between every trace and every measurement and every item in the, or every link in the database, right? Because we want to be able to drill back down. So this maintains that unique link. So if I drill down from one project, I'm not going to end up in another one. I'm going to end up in the correct one, and I will be able to drill back and forth. So that's pretty much what I wanted to show you today. Pretty simple, pretty quick. And so thank you for your time this morning. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, and please stay healthy in this